What up, nerds? Welcome to the Nerdy Narrative. My name is Leslie Smith. Hope you all have had a great week this week. I've had the best week this week. It's been really great for me. Work related, reading related. I've gotten some good reading in. Cannot wait to share that with you, which is, if you're new here, that's what this video is. It's just a weekly check-in where I talk about all of the things I'm reading. And we're going to start with, I got a new book in the mail. Now, I pre-ordered this, it feels like a million years ago. I'm not sure how long it was. But if you have ever gotten a special edition from this company, then you know it is always worth the wait. And they're so undervalued. I think Paul really undervalues his products, but I'm not going to complain. But what I got in the mail is The Angel of Indian Lake by Stephen Graham Jones. This is the SST Publications edition. Now, I collect these. It is a special naked hardback. It has really great, gorgeous artwork, which I'll give you a close-up here. Beautiful artwork. Love the end pages, which are VSH tapes of famous slasher movies from back in the day. It's also numbered and signed by the author, and all three in the trilogy are a matched set. So if you buy the first one, you get first dibs on getting the second and third in the trilogy. And this came in this week, and oh, that is so cool. Look at the moon right there. So really excited to have this in my collection that's now complete. I have so many SST publications, all of Stephen Graham Jones, funnily enough. And my friend Evie from the channel She Was Only Evie, she's the one who introduced me to this company and these special editions way back when. She knew that my favorite book by this author was The Only Good Indians, and she found one of the special editions, I think, on eBay and sent it to me, and that just started a whole obsession with collecting those. And I'm not one for collecting special editions. Every once in a while, if it's a series I really love and it's something unique, like I said, Paul just he's unmatched as far as artwork and special editions, in my opinion, that are affordable. I am not going to spend my whole book budget on one special edition. Just no. So let's talk about what I finished reading this week. I did finish volume 21 of One Piece. If you've read this series, you know that I'm in the part of Alabasta where there's this huge battle that spans maybe 3 volumes, and it's just done. It's presented in such a way that I just love, but I won't go into detail because if you haven't read it, then I think it's a spoiler. I would highly recommend this manga series to anyone, especially if you watched the Netflix live action of season 1 and you enjoyed it. I think you would really love the manga. Now, the other thing that I finished reading is a book that I pre-ordered it through Audible. I was about to say I got it from my library, and that would be a lie. That was Tourist Season by Bren Weaver. I'm so glad I pre-ordered it. It was completely worth it. Loved it. Loved the narrators. Loved the story. It's the start of a new trilogy by this author, and it is connected to the first trilogy, which is a dark comedy romance. It is a serial killer romance. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there. I think you could call all of them enemies to lovers. They're slow burns. I absolutely love Bren Weaver, and when I saw that she had this one announced, I thought to myself, there's no way she's going to top the Ruinous Love trilogy. But I kind of was like, well, you know, she said it was her most favorite thing she had ever written to date. And after reading it, I agree. It's my favorite thing I've ever read by her. I loved the characters. I love how she is able to take something she's done over and over again. Like I said, all of the ones I've read by her, they've all been slow burn. They've all been enemies to lovers. They've all been serial killer romances. But somehow she manages to make all of her characters, they all have their own personalities, they all have their quirks, they all have their unique backstories. Somehow she's able to interweave them and crisscross them, and it doesn't feel forced or convenient. Just, and I really loved the story in this one. I did love the romance, just absolutely adored it. I loved being in these characters' heads, hearing their point of view as they're kind of arguing with themselves about their situation. And the funny thing is, our male main character and our female main character. So the male main character, serial killer, goes to Cape Carnage expressly to kill our female main character, Harper Starling. But he meets her before he knows that's who it is, like as soon as he arrives in town, and they kind of flirt with each other. There's this chemical reaction between the two of them. They're attracted to each other. They have fun. They laugh. And then he finds out who she is, and he's like, I can't be attracted to her. Why am I attracted to her? Wow, she looks really good in that outfit today. I love the way she smells. Wait, I can't do that. I'm here to kill this girl. It's so funny, but it's a serious story at the same time. And I'm just like, how does Brent Weaver do it? How does she take something and do the same thing over and over again, but makes me enjoy it every time? I don't know, but I absolutely loved it. And if you like, I call these guilty pleasures. They're just fun. They're just fun. And I cannot recommend the audiobook enough. She always has the most amazing narrators for her books. And the guy who voiced Nolan Rhodes, chef's kiss. So those are the two things that I finished this week. I have started No Heart for a Thief by James Lloyd Doolan. And my friend Kate loves this series. And I can't remember if it's finished or not. I think there are 3 books out in it so far. And she said, and this was so exciting to me, every book gets better and better and better. And this book, I sat down, and when I started it, I read the first 15% in one sitting, and the only reason I stopped was because it was time to feed and walk my dogs. And I'm going, this feels like a 5-star read to me already. And she's telling me that each book continues to get better. I'm in. And for those of you who are Kindle Unlimited subscribers, I did see that all the books that are out in this series are all available on Kindle Unlimited. So if you want to check it out, I know I'm not done with it. I'm not even halfway done with it, but I'm over here. I want to recommend this book to you. I want to go ahead and say, try it. The magic system is so unique. I still don't fully understand it. I have not seen the full scope of it yet. It's still being explained to me. And the way that this is being presented, I love this narrative. So it opens up, and there's a young girl who is being chased by soldiers, and it is because of the type of magic that she has. They're called dancers, and they're able to hear the song, and they can connect with the song, and they have abilities. And so she gets saved by this other dancer who is someone who they've lived alone for several years, and it comes to find out that this person is very well known throughout this world for something that they were a part of. So I got this feeling of, okay, well, this girl is our new character. We're at the start of her adventure, and we're possibly at the end of the guy who saved her, the man. We're possibly at the end of his adventure, and it's kind of a passing of the torch kind of feel to it. But now what's happened is, as I've read further, it's turned into he's teaching her about the song and the magic, and he's starting by telling her how he was taught and his story, and it's so good. It's so interesting. It's written in such a way that it's very easy to consume. You can sit down and easily just get lost and read for hours and not notice the passage of time. That's how good and engaging it is. That's how much I am enjoying it, at least. I'm so excited to continue the series. My TBR is going to have to get rearranged because I'm going to have to keep continuing the series. I am also still working on Grand Conspiracy by Janie Wirtz. I am almost done with it. I should finish this one in the next few days. Probably by the time I check in with y'all next week, I'm going to have it done. I don't know how she does it. Every book, this is book 5 in a series of 11 books, every book keeps getting better. And I'm going, how? How can we take this simple series that starts with these half-brothers who are cursed by a mist wraith that whenever they get near each other, it's just devastation. They want to kill each other. And if that should ever come to fruition, it will completely devastate the world that they're inhabiting. And it's such a simple plot. It sounds like such a simple plot, but the nuance and the cleverness of how these two are one's trying to avoid the other, and the other is just trying to turn the world against the other one, and just the exploration of good versus evil, and how there's that gray area, and how it's about perception of what you think is right and wrong. And I don't know how she keeps making each one of these books get better and better. And this part, oh man. So there was like a pretty good time jump in this one, about 15 years, if I'm remembering correctly. And I remember when it first got introduced of what this one particular plot point is, I'm like, man, I hope I don't have to wait 2 or 3 books to see what's going to happen here. No, we had a little bit of a time jump, and it's playing out now. It's playing out now, and I am so excited. I mean, I am in the thick of it. It was very hard to put it down last night. I was reading so late, and I was like, my eyes were trying to, like, every time I blinked, they would stick closed for, like, it felt like a few seconds, but it was turning into minutes, and then, like, 10 minutes, and then 20 minutes would pass. I'm like, all right, I just need to stop because I'm going to forget what I've read. But it has all come to a head. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't even know what I want to happen. But I can't wait to see what Janie Wertz is going to do, because she always does something amazing. I'm also listening to the audiobook of the Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre by Philip Fracassi. I love Philip Fracassi. That is another author that everything he puts out, I'm going to pick up. I had this one on hold with my library as soon as the title got announced, and I was checking Libby repeatedly until it was available to put a hold on. Turns out I was first in line for it. I am enjoying the audiobook. The amazing January Lavoie is the narrator, and if you've ever listened to anything by this narrator, you know it just doesn't get much better than her, unless it's Jeff Hayes from Dungeon Crawler Carl. If you know, you know, and if you don't, you should. So she's doing a great job. It's a murder mystery that is horror leaning. It is too much like Richard Osman's The Thursday Murder Club for me to get maximum enjoyment from. I reread The Thursday Murder Club recently, watched the movie, loved it. That one is more comedy leaning mystery. Philip Fracassi has a more darker tone. There's a little bit of dark humor to it. It's just, I like it, I'm not loving it. So there's that. Now, it could change. I've got about 25% of it left. Something really astounding could happen that could change my entire outlook. I think we're finally getting into the whodunit part of it. I can't figure out who in the world. So obviously the Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre. It's a retirement home. It's a community. And at first it's seeming like an accident happened, and then a suicide from the result of that accident, and perhaps another suicide, and then it's just like this chain reaction. But now they've just finally started to figure it out. Okay, there's maybe something nefarious afoot here. Like someone is behind this. These are not happy accidents, because, you know, it was difficult for police to take it seriously because they're like, it's an old people's home. I mean, people die. So it is a very clever setting for a murder mystery in this retirement home, and the dark humor is sort of how the murderer or murderers, I don't know, is going about carrying it out. But it's just, it's not gripping me. I don't know. We'll see how the ending goes. So I should have it done by the time I check in with y'all next week, and we'll talk more about it then. Which brings us to, what am I going to read next? Well, I do have Slewfoot by Brahm on my audiobook listening list. I was able to get that one on loan from my library, so that's going to be my next listen. I'm also going to go ahead and jump into One Piece Volume 22. I also got word that I'm going to be getting something in the mail that is going to be my next physical read, if it gets here in time. If I should happen to finish No Heart for a Thief before that little something comes in, then I'm going to go ahead and start Project Hanneman by Stuart Hotston. This is coming out November 11th by my friends over at Angry Robot Books. And how this one was described to me is Indian mythology blended with a classic sci-fi space opera, which I'm in. I can't wait. I haven't read a good space opera in quite some time. This is a new to me author, but reading about this author, I just want to meet this guy. He sounds really, really interesting. So I think he's going to have a very entertaining story for me. So this one will be my next physical read if my other thing doesn't get here by the time I finish No Heart for a Thief. Also, after I finished listening to Slewfoot, which I think is a pretty short novel, I want to get into Execution of Rooker Flynn by A.R. Witham. That rounds out and finishes the Locke Institute trilogy. It's a adventure, it's a fantasy adventure, pirates and all of that fun stuff. The Legend of Blackjack saga, if you have heard me talk about any of those books, this is the third in the Rooker Flynn little trilogy about this character. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen. They're at their wits' end. I don't see any way that Rooker Flynn is going to be able to get out of this. He has tried. The first two books, they tried everything, and they've just been hammered down at every turn. So all that's left is what happens in the title, The Execution of Rooker Flynn. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen there. I have the audiobook and I have a copy of the ARC on my Kindle. So I'm going to pair those two together and zip through that one. So excited. My friend Esme, I call her my book twin, she read it and loved it, so I'm expecting to have a wonderful time with it as well. So that's all I'm going to put on my TBR for right now. It's definitely going to get reworked because I want to continue. I haven't even finished No Heart for a Thief, but I know I want to continue that series, just keep it going while I can, and I'm excited about this new thing that's on the way. I don't know what it is for sure, but I think I know what it is, and I can't wait to show y'all. Oh my goodness. The author reached out, was like, hey, do you still live at this address? And I was like, I have seen social media posts about some stuff that you've been doing. Please let it be that. So I'm excited, but I don't want to say anything and then look like an idiot. So next week I hope to show y'all something really cool, really cool. And I'm not going to tell you who it is because I don't want you to go look it up before I can show you. So that's it for me this week. Had a fantastic week. I hope you all did too. We got, I think Halloween's going to come and go before I see y'all. I got my little Sneaky Halloween shirt on here. I love spooky season, but you know what? This girl celebrates it year round by reading horror every month because I just can't get enough of those thrills and chills. Y'all, let me know what y'all are reading. You have any special books you're reading for the week of Halloween? We'd love to hear about it. Y'all have an amazing rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you in the next one.